Hello, my name is Marcus with MLC CAD Systems, and one of my responsibilities is to create online content, such as videos for our YouTube channel covering all the products we support. So today, I'd like to take you through a case study and show you how I would approach a specific manufacturing challenge using the various tools and the technologies that we support. The design is a spiral staircase, inspired by this similar design, but we've modified it a bit. It's using a single large bolt to connect each tread. And to accomplish the overall shape, we need to glue up various pieces of stock. So I jumped into SolidWorks to plan it all out. Now, MASTERCAM Design and SolidWorks share a lot of the same tools, but I find that for serious design challenges, especially assembly models, I can get it done faster in SolidWorks. Now, the bolt and the dowel pins are used for alignment during the final installation. So to make sure that they're exactly per the design, I made a fixture to hold the material during glue up and final machining that has the exact hole alignment of the mating tread built in. So I know it's going to fit. Now, normally I'd spend some time programming and fabricating these fixture plates, but I've got a lot of other things that need to be done that are customer facing. They need to come first. So I'm going to kind of offload this and print them on a Markforged printer. Markforged printers print in Onyx, which is a carbon fiber filled nylon 6 that makes strong, lightweight, dimensionally stable fixtures and jaws. They have no problem being in contact with cutting fluids or oils. To print a fixture plate, you can just save out the design as an STL file. Now you can do this from MASTERCAM or SolidWorks, by the way, and just upload it to Eiger. That's the software that runs Markforged printers. Now you can set up which machine you want to run it on, what material to use, and even add fiber reinforcement if it needs to be as strong and rigid as, say, aluminum. Now, I'm going to use a standard sparse fill setting, so it's a partially hollow part inside to save on weight and material. But here's one of my favorite tricks with the printed fixtures. I'm going to put a captive nut inside this fixture so that I can bolt down my part during machining. So I know the alignment's going to be perfect and it's going to hold securely. To do that, I just need to find the last layer inside the void I made for this nut. I'll put in a pause after that layer and it'll print to that point and then email me to let me know that it's time for the hardware. Once I insert it, I can resume the print and this part will have durable hardware embedded permanently inside the fixture. Now comes the challenge of teaching my guys how to build these things up using this new fixture. Now, this isn't exactly a common part we build, so that's when I turned to SolidWorks Composer. Instead of design or machining, its main capability is communication. You can create high-quality illustrations for work instructions or process training, or even make a training video that explains how the whole thing is going to go together. Now, in most cases, it's so illustrative that I don't even need to add words to get my point across, so language barriers are not a problem. And if I have a need to communicate with customers, employees, or vendors, but a technical print or an email just isn't going to do the job, SolidWorks Composer may be worth a look. All right, so we've got our design, we've got our production plan, now we need tool paths. So of course, this is where we go to MASTERCAM. I'll bring in my fixture design for reference using the file merge, which brings it into the active project. The merge command now incorporates the next 3 or so things you would always end up doing after importing the geometry anyways. So it gives you the locating commands to position the new part. It gives you level controls so you can associate it to the proper level or even create a dedicated level for this solid. And you can set colors, line weights. Everything you were probably going to have to do anyways is now right here so you can get back to work quickly. I've got everything in MASTERCAM for reference, including my bolts, fixture, raw material blocks, but my main challenge is going to be machining the curvature around this part. I'm going to use a saw blade to rough it out. Now, normally I would create a tool path directly on the geometry, but these faces have a lot of undercut and span across multiple shapes and surfaces, so that's going to make it hard to get a nice uniform spiral cut on this using my saw. So I'm going to take a different approach. I'm going to start really simple with a straight line and a simplified surface to get a nice clean toolpath using a long curve. A long curve lets me select a curve to drive the geometry and drive surfaces to run along. With a one-way cut, it will simply spiral down around the perimeter of the surface and slowly cut the shape out. I'll have the tool automatically follow normal to the surface it's machining, but I do need to offset that 90 degrees since this is a right angle saw blade. I'll set my safety retract zones, and we'll take a look at what we've got so far. It should be a nice, clean, but pretty generic spiraling toolpath. So I'll go back and turn on collision control for the tool. But the trick here is for this approach, we'll use check surfaces to control the final position of the toolpath. And there I can grab the surfaces of my original part that were offset from the solid, and it'll machine the final shape across all those surfaces with this uniform spiraling toolpath. Now there's one more trick that I need to employ, and that is to tilt the tool slowly as it goes down so it clears the arbor at the bottom of the blade. So on the tool axis control page, I'll set a gradual side tilt angle change to give me the clearance that I need. Simulating the final toolpath, you can see that we're going to get a nice uniform rough all the way around this geometry. Now normally this is the part where I'd still have to go to Program and build my fixtures, but since we printed them, I can just go pull them off the build platform and start using them. Now these are scale models. We have a few of them here today, but if your fixtures are too big for the printer full scale, you can print them in sections and assemble them. In fact, we have some tiny stairs that we printed for display purposes. We're going to take them to like trade shows and stuff to talk to customers, and they have a simple interlocking feature for reference. Look, we all face similar challenges in production, but we don't all have access to the same tools. I hope you enjoyed this opportunity to see some of our technologies in action. If you're facing a unique challenge and you're not sure how to approach it, give our team of experts a call. We can share some of the industry best practices and demonstrate how our tools and services can be applied to make your business more efficient.